I can still smell the leather of that trunk. That's the weird thing your brain holds on to when your whole world falls apart. Not the betrayal, not the lies, but the smell of expensive car leather mixed with my own panic sweat. Real quick before I get into this, I love seeing where you all are tuned in from, so drop your city in the comments below. And here's what I really want to know. If your wedding driver told you to hide in the trunk of your own car on your wedding morning, would you have done it? Or would you have thought they'd lost their mind? Drop your answer and your location because I need to know if I'm the only one who would have just stood there looking stupid. Hit that subscribe button too, because trust me, you're going to want to see how this plays out. My name's Marcus, and 3 months ago, I was about to marry the woman I thought was my soulmate. Thought being the key word there. The wedding was set for 2 in the afternoon, one of those fancy hotel ballroom situations in downtown Atlanta, the kind with the crystal chandeliers and the marble floors that click when you walk. My fiancée Simone had planned every detail down to the color of the napkins. Champagne ivory, not regular ivory. There's apparently a difference, and it apparently cost me an extra $800. But I didn't care. I was marrying my girl. We'd been together for 4 years. Met at a Morehouse Spelman mixer back when I was finishing my MBA. She was getting her master's in marketing, and the first thing she ever said to me was that my tie didn't match my pocket square. Not in a mean way, she just walked up, tilted her head, and said it like she was genuinely concerned for my well-being. I fell for her right there. Her mama, though, Ms. Patricia Richardson, that woman had issues with me from day one. See, Simone came from money, old Atlanta money. Her daddy owned 3 car dealerships and some commercial real estate I didn't fully understand. They lived in Cascade Heights in one of those houses that looks like it should have a name instead of an address. Me, I grew up in East Point with my grandmother after my parents died in a car crash when I was 9. Put myself through undergrad with scholarships and worked 2 jobs during my MBA. I was doing well, real well actually, as a financial consultant. But in Ms. Patricia's eyes, I wasn't their kind of people. She never said it directly. She was too polished for that. But I heard it in every how nice when I talked about my job. Every interesting choice when we discussed the wedding budget. Every time she introduced me to her country club friends and somehow forgot to mention I had a graduate degree. Simone would defend me. Mama, stop being ridiculous. Marcus is brilliant and he treats me like a queen. And Ms. Patricia would smile that tight smile and say, of course, baby, I just want the best for you. The night before the wedding at the rehearsal dinner, Ms. Patricia had pulled me aside. We were at some expensive restaurant in Buckhead where the menu didn't have prices and the waiters called you sir like they actually meant it. Marcus, she'd said, gripping my arm with her perfectly manicured nails. Tomorrow is a big day. Yes, ma'am. I'm ready to make Simone the happiest woman alive. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. See that you do. My daughter deserves everything. Don't you forget that. Something about the way she said it made my stomach twist, but I brushed it off. Cold feet, I figured, or just Miss Patricia being Miss Patricia. I should have listened to my gut. The morning of the wedding, I'd arranged for a car service to pick me up from my apartment and take me to the hotel. My best man Troy was supposed to ride with me, but he'd called at 6 a.m. saying his kid had projectile vomited all over him and he needed to shower and change. He'd meet me there, so I was alone when the black Lincoln pulled up at 9:30. The driver got out to open my door. He was an older brother, maybe mid-60s, with gray in his beard and kind eyes behind wire-rimmed glasses. His name tag said William. Good morning, Mr. Hayes, he said. Congratulations on your big day. Thank you, man, I appreciate it. I slid into the back seat with my garment bag and the box with my shoes. I was already in my undershirt and dress pants. I'd put the full tux on at the hotel. William got back in and pulled away from the curb. We hadn't gone 2 blocks when his eyes met mine in the rearview mirror. Mr. Hayes, I need to ask you something, and I need you to not think I'm crazy. I laughed. Okay. Do you trust your fiancée? My smile dropped. Excuse me? Do you trust Ms. Richardson completely? What kind of question is that? My voice came out harder than I meant it to. Look, I don't know what. I drove Ms. Patricia and another woman to your hotel at 7 this morning. He cut me off. His voice was calm but urgent. They had luggage, suitcases. They went up to the bridal suite, and the conversation I overheard in the car, "Mr. Hayes, I think you need to see something before you walk down that aisle." My heart started pounding. "What are you talking about?" "I can drive you to the hotel right now, but when we get close to the entrance, I need you to get in the trunk." "The trunk?" "There are cameras everywhere in that hotel. Miss Patricia made sure of it. She's friends with the general manager. If they see you arrive, if anyone tells her you're there, whatever's happening up in that suite will stop. But if they think you're not there yet," he trailed off. "This is insane. You're talking about me hiding in a trunk like I'm in some kind of spy movie." "I know how it sounds." William's eyes were steady in the mirror. "But I've been driving people around this city for 32 years. I've seen a lot of weddings, Mr. Hayes, a lot of marriages, and I've learned when something ain't right." "What did you hear?" "I heard Miss Patricia say, 'He'll never know. After today, it won't matter anyway.' And the other woman, I think her name was Cheryl, she laughed and said something about poor Marcus, and at least the money will stay in the family." The blood drained from my face. "I could lose my job for this," William continued, "but I got daughters, 3 of them. If some man was doing my girls wrong, I'd want someone to tell them. Even a stranger, especially a stranger, because sometimes that's the only person who will." I sat there in that leather seat, my hands shaking, my mind racing. This was my wedding day. The day I dreamed about since Simone said yes on that beach in Miami, getting down on one knee in the sand while the sun set behind her. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. But William's voice didn't sound like he was lying, and Miss Patricia's face from last night flashed in my mind. That cold smile, those sharp eyes. "At least the money will stay in the family." "What money?" "Drive," I heard myself say, "and when we get there, I'll get in the damn trunk." William nodded once. "Smart man. We'll park in the lower garage. It's darker there, fewer cameras. I'll pop the trunk, you get in quick, and I'll take you up the service elevator. There's a hallway that runs behind the bridal suite. Housekeeping uses it. You'll be able to hear everything. And if I'm wrong, if this is all just some misunderstanding, then you'll know your woman is true and you can marry her in peace. But if I'm right," he met my eyes in the mirror again, "if I'm right, you'll thank me for the rest of your life." We drove in silence for the next 15 minutes. I couldn't think straight, couldn't breathe right. My hands kept clenching and unclenching on my knees. Simone's face kept flashing in my mind. The way she laughed at my terrible jokes. The way she fell asleep on my chest watching movies. The way she'd said, "I can't wait to be your wife," just 2 nights ago, her eyes full of tears. But so did Miss Patricia's voice. "Don't you forget that." When we pulled into the hotel's lower parking garage, my heart was hammering so hard I thought I might pass out. William drove to the darkest corner, behind a concrete pillar. "Now, Mr. Hayes." I grabbed my stuff and opened the door. The trunk popped open with a soft click. I looked around. No one in sight. Just rows of expensive cars and the smell of concrete and exhaust. I climbed in. The trunk was bigger than I expected. Lincoln Town cars were built like boats back in the day, but it was still a trunk. Still dark. Still smelled like leather and carpet cleaner and my own fear. William closed it gently. Through the fabric of the back seat, I heard him get back in the driver's seat. The car moved, smooth, steady, up a ramp, through what I assumed was the parking garage levels. Then we stopped. "Service entrance," William said quietly. "Stay silent." I heard him get out. Heard voices, another man, casual, friendly. "Hey, William, got the groom?" "Running late. I'm just bringing up some of his things. Ms. Patricia asked me to drop them in the storage room." "All good. Head on up." A beep, an elevator door. The car moved again, just a few feet, then stopped. The trunk popped. Light flooded in. William's face appeared above me. "Quick now!" I scrambled out, grabbing my stuff. We were in a service elevator, metal walls, dim lighting. William hit button number 12. "The bridal suite is 1247, he said. "There's a door marked staff only at the end of the hall. Behind it is a service corridor. Room 1247 backs up to it. You'll hear everything through the vent." The elevator lurched upward. My stomach lurched with it. Part 2. The truth behind the wall. The hallway behind the staff-only door was exactly like William described. Narrow, fluorescent lit, walls painted that industrial beige that all service corridors seem to have. It smelled like cleaning supplies and hotel laundry. William pointed to a vent in the wall low to the ground. There, you'll have to get down on the floor. You're not staying? I got to move the car before someone asks questions. You need me, you call. I'll be circling the block. He pressed a business card into my hand. And Mr. Hayes? I'm sorry, I really am. Then he was gone, and I was alone in that hallway with my wedding clothes and my pounding heart. I knelt down by the vent, put my ear close. At first I heard nothing, just the hum of the hotel's HVAC system. Then I heard her voice. Simone. Mama, I don't know about this. It feels wrong. My whole body went cold. Baby, listen to me. Miss Patricia's voice was smooth, controlled. Men like Marcus, they don't understand how the world works. They think love is enough. But we know better, don't we? But he loves me. He really loves me. Of course he does. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're a Richardson. But love doesn't pay for the lifestyle you're accustomed to, does it? A pause. Then Simone, quieter. No. Marcus is a good man. I'll give him that. But he doesn't come from money. He doesn't understand how to maintain it, how to grow it. That little consulting job of his? Please. Your father made more in interest last month than Marcus will make this entire year. So what are you saying? I'm saying you marry him today. You smile. You say your vows. You let him think he's the luckiest man alive. Another pause, longer. And then what? My hands were shaking against the floor. Then you wait 6 months, maybe a year. You be the perfect wife. And then you discover he's been unfaithful. But he hasn't. He will have. I've got photos, I've got receipts, I've got hotel records and text messages and everything you need for a clean, quick divorce. And because of that lovely prenup, his lawyer thought he was so smart for negotiating, the one where infidelity voids the financial protection clause, you'll get half of everything he makes for the next 10 years, plus whatever settlement we push for. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move. The prenup protects him if I cheat, Simone said slowly. But if he cheats, you're protected. The agreement flips. And with the evidence I have, he won't be able to fight it. He'll be so ashamed, so broken, he'll just sign whatever we put in front of him. What evidence? Mama, what did you do? What I had to do to protect my daughter, Miss Imar. Patricia's voice was ice cold now. I hired someone. Pretty young thing. Looks a bit like you, actually. She's been setting up chance encounters with Marcus for months. Coffee shops, the gym. Always friendly, always appropriate. Building a paper trail, photos of them together that look intimate, even if nothing happened. That's fraud. That's illegal. It's insurance, baby, and no one will ever know. Marcus will think his life just fell apart. He'll think he lost you because he was tempted by another woman, even if he can't quite remember actually doing anything wrong. Happens all the time. Men are weak. Silence. Long, horrible silence. Then Simone spoke, and her voice made my heart shatter into 1,000 pieces. What do I tell him when I file? What reason do I give? Tell him you've changed. Tell him you're not happy. Tell him whatever you want. By then, you'll have the photos ready to go if he questions the settlement terms. He'll cave. They always do. And the money? What do I do with it? Whatever you want, baby. Travel, shop, meet a man who's actually worth your time. Someone from the club. Someone who understands how our world works. Another voice cut in, the woman William had mentioned, Cheryl. Girl, your mama's right. My cousin did the same thing 3 years ago. Married some teacher, sweet guy, broke as hell. Year later, she had him for 200 grand in the settlement. Now she's engaged to a dermatologist with a practice in Alpharetta and a lake house. You got to play the game. Laughter. They were laughing. I pressed my forehead against the wall. My chest felt like it was caving in. I do feel bad, though, Simone said. Marcus he's been good to me. He really has. And you'll send him a nice Christmas card once this is all settled, Ms. Patricia said. Come on now. Cheryl, help her with her makeup. We've got a wedding to get to. Movement in the room, water running, the sound of makeup compacts clicking. You really think he won't suspect anything? Simone asked. Baby, men like Marcus are so grateful to marry up. They never see it coming. He's probably downstairs right now, crying with joy about how he's the luckiest man in the world. More laughter. I stood up. My legs barely held me. I looked down at my hands, the same hands that had worked double shifts to save up for Simone's engagement ring, the same hands that had held her when she cried about her grandmother passing, the same hands I'd imagined holding our children someday. Those hands were shaking with rage. No, not rage yet. First came the numbness, that weird cold feeling like you're watching yourself from outside your body. Then came the clarity. I pulled out my phone, opened the voice memo app, pressed record and held it up to the vent. And once the divorce is final, Ms. Patricia was saying, you invest that settlement money exactly how I tell you. None of this, I'll figure it out later nonsense. We put it into the trust, let it grow, and in 5 years you'll thank me. What if he fights it? Simone asked. What if he doesn't believe the affair? Then we make it real. We have the girl testify. We get hotel workers to remember seeing them together. Money talks, baby. It always has. I recorded for 10 more minutes. Got every word, every laugh, every single piece of their plan. Then I called Troy. Yo, Marcus, where you at, man? I'm at the hotel and... Listen to me very carefully, I said, my voice shaking but controlled. I need you to do exactly what I say. Don't ask questions. Just listen. Marcus, what's wrong? Go to the hotel manager. Tell him there's been a family emergency and the wedding is postponed. Tell him we need everyone out of the ballroom within the hour. Tell him I'll pay the cancellation fees, all of it, but it has to happen now. What? Man, are you... Do it, Troy. Please. I'll explain everything later. Then I need you to call my lawyer, Bill Henderson. Tell him to meet me at his office in 2 hours and to bring his recorder and a notary. Tell him it's about my prenup and I have new evidence that needs to be documented. Can you do that? Silence then. Marcus, did something happen with Simone? Everything happened with Simone? Just make the calls. I'll be there soon. I hung up. One more call. This one to the hotel's front desk. Hi, this is Marcus Hayes. I'm getting married in your ballroom today at 2. Yes, that's me. I need to send a message to the bridal suite, room 1247. Can you ring them for me? Perfect. I waited while they connected, heard the phone ring through the vent in the wall. Hello, Ms. Patricia's voice. Ms. Richardson, this is the front desk. We have Mr. Hayes on the line. He asked us to connect him to your room. A pause. I could practically feel her surprise. Put him through. A click. Marcus? Simone's voice bright and fake. Baby, where are you? It's bad luck to talk to the bride on the wedding day. I took a breath, let it out slow. I'm downstairs. Sweetheart, in the business center. There's been a problem with some paperwork for the marriage license. Probably nothing, but the clerk is asking me to verify some information, and my laptop is back at my apartment. I was going to have Troy grab it, but he's still dealing with his sick kid. Oh no, do you need me to help? No, baby, you stay beautiful up there. I actually called because I just wanted to hear your voice. I wanted to tell you that I love you and I can't wait to make you my wife. Through the vent, I heard her breath catch. Oh, Marcus, I love you too. So much. Liar. I know, baby. Hey, your mom there? Yeah, you want to talk to her? Just for a second. Rustling. Then Ms. Patricia's smooth voice. Marcus, everything all right? Perfect, Ms. Patricia. I just wanted to thank you for everything you've done, for raising such an amazing daughter, for welcoming me into your family even when I know I'm not exactly what you dreamed of for Simone. A pause. That's very kind, Marcus. I mean it. You've taught me so much about family, about loyalty, about what really matters. Well, you're welcome. See you at the altar, Miss Patricia. I hung up. Through the vent, I heard Simone. Mama, what did he say? Nothing important. Come on, let's finish your hair. I walked back to the service elevator, pressed the button for the lobby. When the doors opened, I didn't go to the ballroom. I went straight out the front entrance, where William was waiting by the car. Mr. Hayes? I handed him $500 cash from my wallet. That's for your honesty and your courage. You saved my life today. His eyes went soft. You heard it all? Every word. And I recorded it. Lord have mercy. What are you going to do? First, I'm going to let them think everything's fine. Let them finish getting ready, walk down to that ballroom, and wonder where the hell everyone went. Part 3. The sweetest revenge Troy came through. By the time I got to Bill Henderson's law office downtown, he had everything set up. Recording equipment, notary, a witness, the whole 9 yards. I played them the audio, all 23 minutes of it. Bill's face went from confused to shocked to absolutely furious. This is fraud, he said flatly. Conspiracy to commit fraud, actually. The fake affair evidence alone is grounds for criminal charges. The financial manipulation, the intent to deceive for monetary gain. Marcus, do you understand what you have here? I understand I was about to marry a woman who never loved me. Did you sign the marriage license yet? No, we were supposed to do it after the ceremony. Bill leaned back in his chair. Then legally, you're still a free man. The prenup is void without the marriage. Everything you own is yours. Everything they plan to take, they can't touch it. I want to hit them where it hurts, I said. My voice surprised me. It was calm, cold. Nothing like the man who'd been crying in a service corridor 2 hours ago. I want them to feel what they tried to do to me. Bill smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. I think I can help with that. Here's what we did. First, Bill called Ms. Patricia's lawyer, a guy named Gerald something who handled the Richardson family's legal affairs. Bill explained that he had evidence of a conspiracy to commit marriage fraud and financial manipulation, and that we were prepared to file both civil and criminal charges unless certain conditions were met. The call took 45 minutes. When Bill hung up, he looked satisfied. Gerald's going to call Ms. Patricia right now. He's going to strongly suggest she come to my office immediately with Simone. Without that, we file charges within the hour. Will they come? Oh, they'll come. Gerald knows exactly how serious this is. If this goes to court, Ms. Patricia could face jail time. Simone, too, as an accessory. And the social humiliation? For a family like the Richardsons? That's worse than prison. An hour later, they walked in. Simone looked confused, still in her wedding dress, makeup perfect. Ms. Patricia looked like she was ready to murder someone. What is the meaning of this? Ms. Patricia started. Marcus, if this is some kind of cold feet nonsense... Bill hit play on the recording. I watched their faces as their own voices filled the room. Men like Marcus, they don't understand how the world works. Simone went pale. Actually pale, like all the blood drained from her face. Miss Patricia's expression didn't change, but her hands gripped her purse so tight her knuckles went white. The recording played for 3 minutes. Then Bill stopped it. We have 20 more minutes, he said calmly. All of it admissible in court. All of it with timestamps showing it was recorded this morning on what would have been Mr. Hayes' wedding day. This is illegal, Ms. Patricia hissed. You can't record someone without their consent in Georgia. This would never hold up. Actually, Ms. Richardson, Georgia is a one-party consent state. Mr. Hayes was legally present in the hotel, in a common area accessible to staff, a service corridor where he had legitimate reason to be. He overheard a conversation about himself and recorded it for his own protection. Perfectly legal. Bill slid a folder across the table. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to sign a statement admitting to conspiracy to commit fraud. You're going to dissolve any and all financial connections between the Richardson family and Marcus Hayes. The prenup is void, obviously, since there's no marriage. And here's the interesting part. He pulled out another document. Marcus is filing a civil suit for emotional damages, fraud, and defamation, based on the fake affair evidence you created. His legal fees, his wedding expenses, and pain and suffering. We're asking for $2 million. $2 million? Miss Patricia was on her feet. You can't be serious. I'm dead serious. And before you say you'll fight it, let me remind you that every detail of this case will become public record. Every word on that recording, every scheme you planned. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution would have a field day. Prominent Atlanta family attempts marriage fraud. Can you imagine the headlines? Simone started crying. Real tears, not the fake ones I'd seen her practice for our wedding photos. "Marcus, please," she said. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Mama pushed me into it. She said it was the smart thing." "Don't." I finally spoke. My voice came out hard. "Don't you dare act like you didn't have a choice. I heard you laugh. I heard you ask what you should do with the money. You weren't pushed into anything. You chose this. We can talk about this. We can work it out." "There's nothing to work out, Simone. You were planning to destroy my life for money. You were going to make me think I was crazy, that I cheated on you when I hadn't. You were going to take everything I worked for and laugh about it with your mama and your friends." Ms. Patricia cut in, her voice sharp. "1 million. That's our counteroffer. You take the million, sign an NDA, and we all walk away." Bill looked at me. I nodded. "Deal," Bill said, "but the NDA goes both ways. You don't talk about Marcus, he doesn't talk about you. And if we ever hear that you're spreading rumors about him, claiming he left Simone at the altar, making him look bad in any way, we release the recording and file the original charges. Understood?" Ms. Patricia's jaw was so tight I thought her teeth might crack. "Understood." The papers were drawn up, signed, notarized, $1 million wired to my account within 24 hours. As they stood to leave, Simone turned back to me. Her makeup was ruined, mascara running down her cheeks. "I really did love you," she whispered. "At first, I want you to know that. At first doesn't mean much when you were planning to ruin me at the end." She left. Miss Patricia paused at the door, looked back at me with those cold eyes. "You'll regret this. You had a chance at a real life, real money, a real family. Now what do you have? $1 million that will run out and a reputation as the man who couldn't keep his woman." I smiled. First time I'd smiled in hours. "Ms. Patricia, I have something you'll never understand. I have my integrity. I know who I am. And I know what I'm worth. That's more than you'll ever have, even with all your daddy's money and your country club friends." Her face went red. She turned and walked out. Bill closed the door behind them. "You okay?" he asked. "I'm getting there." That was 3 months ago. I'll tell you what I did with the money. Paid off my student loans, put a down payment on a house in Decatur. Nothing fancy, just 3 bedrooms and a yard for the dog I'm thinking about getting. Donated $50,000 to the Boys and Girls Club, where I used to go after school when my grandmother was working late. The rest, it's invested, growing slowly, securing my future. I heard through mutual friends that Simone and Miss Patricia told everyone I got cold feet and called off the wedding, that I wasn't ready for commitment. A few people believed them. Most people saw through it, especially when I started dating again and very publicly enjoying my life. Troy kept his mouth shut like I asked. So did Bill. But Atlanta's a small city when you know the right people, and word gets around. People figured out something went wrong on the Richardson side. Business deals started falling through for Mr. Richardson. Invitations dried up for Miss Patricia. Karma's funny like that. I ran into Simone last month. Whole Foods of all places. We both reached for the same bag of coffee. She looked tired, still beautiful. She'd always be beautiful, but tired. Like the weight of what she'd done was finally sitting on her shoulders. "Hey, Marcus." "Hey." Silence. "What do you say to the woman who tried to destroy you?" "I really am sorry," she said quietly, "for whatever that's worth." I thought about it, about all the pain, all the anger, all the nights I couldn't sleep because I kept hearing her voice through that vent. "It's worth something," I said finally, "but not enough." She nodded, took her coffee, walked away. I watched her go and felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, just nothing. That's how I knew I'd healed. As for William, the driver, I hired his company for a year of services. Every time I need to go somewhere important, William drives me. We talk about life, about his daughters, about second chances. Last week, he told me his youngest daughter just got engaged to a guy she met at church. "Good man," he said, "honest, hard-working." "Like you," William said, meeting my eyes in the rearview mirror. "You saved me, man. I hope you know that." "You saved yourself, Mr. Hayes. I just gave you the information. What you did with it, that was all you." So yeah, that's my story. The wedding that never happened, the betrayal I almost didn't see coming, the trunk of a town car that changed my entire life. People ask me sometimes if I'll ever get married, if I'll ever trust someone again. Honestly, I don't know. The thought of it still makes my chest tight, still makes me wonder what people are really thinking behind their smiles. But I'm working on it. Therapy helps. Time helps. And knowing that I dodged the biggest bullet of my life, that helps too. I'm dating someone new now. Her name's Jasmine. She's a nurse at Grady, works overnight shifts, drives a 10-year-old Honda, and splits the bill every time we go out. She doesn't know about my money. I haven't told her yet. She just knows I'm Marcus, the guy who makes her laugh and brings her coffee on her night shifts and doesn't play games. Maybe she's the one. Maybe she's not. But I'm taking it slow, real slow, because I learned something in that trunk, in that hallway, listening to the woman I loved plan my destruction. The right person will never make you hide, never make you doubt, never make you feel like you have to prove your worth. The right person will see you, really see you, and choose you anyway. I'm still looking for that person. But this time, I know exactly what to look for and what to run from. So that's it. That's my story. The morning my wedding driver told me to hide in the trunk and I saw everything I needed to see. Drop a comment and let me know. Would you have gotten in that trunk? Would you have trusted a stranger? What would you have done if you were in my shoes? And to William, if you're out there watching this, thank you for your honesty, for your courage, for caring about a stranger on what should have been the best day of his life. You're a real one. As for Simone and Miss Patricia, I hope you're watching too. I hope you hear every word of this and remember what you tried to do. Remember that you failed. And I hope someday you learn what I learned. That integrity, honesty, and real love are worth more than any scheme, any plan, any amount of money you could ever steal. Until next time, y'all. This is Marcus, reminding you to trust your gut, value your worth, and never ever ignore the warnings, even when they come from the most unexpected places. Peace.